from Lake Lucy. Welcome back. This here's going to be a little bit of a rant about the insane people that are in this world. So, I hope everybody's doing well. I will put pictures at the end of the video of my visitor that I had the other day here in the house. He came across out of the woods, out of the backyard there, came up and across my backyard and into the neighbor's woods behind my neighbor's house. So, yeah, he was about a 250-pound black bear. Yep. Interesting. Likes to roasters, Star Barn. Diesel, Uncut, Connecticut. I was going to try to smoke a pipe again, but there's a storm coming in, and with the wind blowing, it's extremely hard to keep them burning, or it gets so hot that the pipe just gets too hot to handle. So I decided to go to a cigar for this afternoon. And it's too nice to sit inside and smoke a pipe in the office. So this is what I opt out to do. Okay. First, a little wackiness from California, which I'm sure no one is surprised at this, but now they are taking down U-turn signs in LA because they are homophobic. Yeah. A street sign that's been in existence for a long time. Like, really? Come on now. You know, if we put this much effort into stupid stuff, if we put it into making our communities better, to help single mothers out there, to help Section 8s, to help guide children away from gangs and into church groups or youth sports groups, imagine how better the world would be if we did that instead of arguing that a U-turn sign is homophobic. Yeah. I had to watch that video like 3 times to really make sure I was seeing what I was seeing and it wasn't AI. Because I was like, this can't be right. Like, there's nobody that dumb. I was wrong. Absolutely insane. That is craziness. I mean, they just plumb lost their mind. Porter is here with me. He's at my feet sitting. Let's see, what else do we got? On to the probably the rant part of it. So, of course, we got people in the cities and places that are stopping traffic in expressways and stuff like that. Okay? And then they're freaking out when they get run over because they stand in front of trucks and they think the people are going to stop. Well, you know, if people have important cargo, you know, if they have children and their families in the car, I'm sorry, but that ain't happening. I'm not putting my family in danger. That ain't happening. I'm running you over. The one video I saw lately here was they all got in front of this big, I think it was a Chevy 3-ton, I think it was, maybe. Dually, it was a farmer, and he was pulling livestock in a trailer behind him. Now, I don't know what livestock was in that trailer. Obviously, you'll never see it on a video. There he is. Hey, buddy. Did you look at the camera and say hi, did you? Yeah? Yeah? Does your big old fat head fit in the camera? Yeah? All right, get down. Over here, this side. This side. I don't want you to get tangled around my chair. So that's Porter's part of the video. As always, he has to make an appearance. Now, if it's pigs, well, they don't scare too awful easy. But there's a lot of weight in there if there's hogs in there. So if they do start freaking out, that's a lot of weight shifting back and forth on a trailer that's sitting still. If it's horses in there, then you really got a problem. Because horses will scare quickly in a trailer. They're in a confined space that they're not in normally. They probably don't have blinders on. And they're hearing this yelling and this racket, people pounding on the sides of the trailer. They're going to get startled. And if a horse falls and breaks their leg, then you got to put the horse down. That's thousands of dollars on top of the value of the horse, which, depending on the breed and the bloodline and everything else, it could get very expensive. Okay? And if you have cows in there, that's even more weight, and they get startled easy as well when you get around like that. You know, the dairy farms that I worked on as a kid, some of the cows you could walk around and they wouldn't really move or budge, but if you caught them off guard, if they didn't see you coming or whatever, and all of a sudden you come out of their blind spot, they'll freak out. You know, they'll wail their head around at you or something like that. That's a big skull. That's a lot of weight coming at you. And, you know, then again, you got, you know, probably 10,000 pounds of animal in the back of that trailer going back and forth because they're scared. If it's cows, what, you know, I don't get it. I just don't get it. And these are the same people that whine and complain about abuse to dogs, which I'm against abuse to dogs too. You tell them, Porty. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, thanks for kisses. Thank you. You smelling my beard oil. That's Bearded Assassin's K-Bar. Yeah, that's what it is. Yeah. Is that our plug for beard oil today? Okay. This video is sponsored by Bearded Assassins, aka Benny Soap Company, beard oil. Today's scent is K-Bar. Good? All right. Get down. There you go. So then it comes to today's video that I just saw a little bit ago that really urged me to do this video. And that was some of my brothers and sisters were driving down the road in a fire engine. And it was an engine. And they were, you know, light sirens screaming, air horns screaming. They were on their way to an emergency. A car gets in front of the engine and brake checks them. They're brake checking a fire truck. Now let me tell you something. If the average tank is about 750 gallons of water, because Because a lot of them now are putting foam systems on so they don't have to carry as much water. And that way they can get way more out of it because you're mixing the foam with the water and some air. Brake checked the fire engine, and then they stopped dead in front of the engine and just put the car in park. Sirens screaming, they were hitting the cue, they were hitting the air horns, they were doing everything they could to get that knucklehead to move, and they weren't doing it. Meanwhile, somebody is in desperate need, whether it be an automobile accident or a fire or, a fallen victim or something like that. And because they feel the need to do something stupid as that, they're going to do that. Now, I know the odds are slim to none, but how ironic would it have been if they would have been headed to one of their family members' homes? I just don't understand, folks, why people have to act so negative. Kind of reminds me of when Phil Robertson, the late Phil Robertson from Duck Dynasty, said that it's really easy, he says. He says, I live in the woods as much as I can. He says, I love God with all my heart, and I love my neighbor. It's really not that hard. And you make a good impact on people's lives when you do that. And he was so right. The more I watch stuff on Phil Robertson and the Unashamed podcast and stuff like that, you really get to see more of the Robertsons and not just all the shenanigans that was Duck Dynasty, the TV show. And folks, they are truly a great family. A great family. Now, instead of trying to block off the rig, maybe you should try to help block off traffic so they can make a turn. Or, if they're in your area and you got bottled water around, bring it out and offer it to them. It's not hard. It's not. If you know the fire department's going to be there for a long time and you got a pile of hot dogs and stuff, throw them on the grill quick, cook them up, and take them up there to them. Those little things go so far with fire department. I mean, I can't even tell you how many bottles of water and Gatorade and, frozen Uncrustables that I've been given by residents of the neighbors of whom we were helping. It's unbelievable. Unbelievable. Sorry, Port, I didn't mean to take up your time on the video, pal. Yeah. I know. Oh, thanks for kisses. I love you too, buddy. Yeah, I do. So today's message is this. Out of the rant, we have to end this thing on a good note. So, love your neighbor. Love God with all your heart. And if you can do something nice for somebody, do it. It doesn't matter how big or how small the act is. The random act of kindness goes so far. Because then that person wants to pass it forward and forward and forward. So you're not just helping one person. Now you're starting a chain reaction that could help 10, 15 people. They could be bigger gifts down the road or they could be smaller gifts down the road. But the point is it's still a random act of kindness. So make sure you do that today. All right? So, till we can get together and pack a pipe or smoke that great cigar, let all that you do be done in love. Porter for President 2028. Y'all take care and God bless. This has been a Porter production.